Now, the challenge then for all of us in this room this morning is to look at those possibilities of the future, is to look at those challenges, is to look at the changes that we've seen over the last month and think again about the work that we've got ahead. Now, you've got the perfect right to ask me, well, you know, you're up there on that podium, what are you doing? What's your policy? What are your powers? What are you doing here? Well, with a commitment to a green way of doing business, let me give you my policy in 5 words. New jobs and new homes. My powers are only 3. The power to convene, sometimes with a degree of force. The power to challenge, sometimes frankly. And the power to communicate, and yes, sometimes to celebrate, because frankly, sometimes we don't bang the drum loud enough for this region in the way that we should. Now, over the next 9 months, we have a very clear timetable. In October, the Comprehensive Spending Review will set out new targets for local communities, as well as for government and public services, alongside a statement of resources for the future. In December, Advantage West Midlands will publish a regional economic strategy for the future, alongside, I hope, the Regional Assembly's plans for future communities. We will, I think, be the first region to link these 2 documents ahead of the game by something like 3 years. And with these plans on the table, we can then, by June, agree a renegotiation of local area agreements and multi-area agreements across public service delivery with more ambitious plans for the next 3 years. But these plans will only succeed if they connect to the ambitions and the aspirations and the plans of ordinary working families and businesses in this region. But crucially, when we frame those arguments, when we frame those plans for the future, we have to sweep away this malaise of modesty and replace it with an attitude of ambition. Now, over the last 20 days, I've met dozens of you and other of the region's leaders. I have met people from business, public services, politics, academia, trade unions and the third sector. I've spoken with government ministers from transport, trade, business, science, skills and local government to talk about the possibilities of the future. I just want to tell you this morning what you all have told me. Everyone I spoke to was passionate about this part of the world, but everyone believed we had stopped punching our weight. Everyone believed that our diversity was a strength, but the lack of a shared self-image and a strategy for the future was a weakness. Everyone believed that we were better at narrating the glories of the past than we were at articulating ambitions for the future. Well, I too believe that our diversity is our vitality. But our differences can only be a strength if we recognise and remedy the weaknesses that we have in common. So this morning I want to just tell you a little bit about what I'm going to do in the next 6 months to play my part. In September, I will host a conference of the region's leaders to brief me on the key challenges and opportunities that they see for this region over the next 15 years. Between September and November, I will visit every part of this region, listening to residents and businesses, public service leaders, trade unions and the third sector about the key priorities for this region as a whole in the next 3 to 5 years. In December, I will publish my own statement of priorities alongside the Regional Economic Strategy and the draft Regional Spatial Strategy 2. What, however, is clear to me from what you have said to me in the last month is that we need faster action in 5 areas with a delivery date no later than Christmas. First, I believe that unless we take action now, this region will face nothing short of a skills crisis in the years to come. Now, the government is already giving local government new powers to shape the delivery of skills for our young people. We're simplifying support for business. We're encouraging more people to go to university, and next year we will set new delivery agreements in this area across the region. We've set out our ambition to have truly world-class skills in the response that we made to Sandy Leach's report, commissioned by the Prime Minister when he was Chancellor. Already, through the new Train to Gain service, employers can already choose the best skills suppliers for their workplace. And our Train to Gain service, I might say, and David Cragg is here with us this morning, our Train to Gain service is already the best in the country. 6,000 organisations and 23,000 employees are involved. But we need to go further. We need to put skills support and business support together. We need to increase the number of apprenticeships for our young people. We need to put our plans for skills at the centre of our business plans for future economic growth in the future. So I'm pleased to be able to say this morning that John Edwards and Nick Paul from AWM and David Cragg from the LSC will now publish the region's first joint skills strategy by December. Second, no one I've spoken to about our region's future believes that this region is going to make its living in the world in the years to come without transforming the appliance of science. Our region has got 8 universities, 4 other higher education institutions, 50 FE colleges. At Kinetic, we have business application of world-class technology. In health, we've not only got 3 medical schools, but some of the country's leading NHS organisations. And I am told that within 10 miles of where you sit this morning, we have more medical trials going on here than anywhere else in Europe. There is a revolution unfolding in genetic science across the world over the next 10 to 15 years, and here in the Midlands we are at its forefront. AWM already has in place Medilink, bringing together industry, the NHS, and our universities. But why can't we become one of the world's leading regions for health science and technology? This, I think, is a huge opportunity that we have to seize. So I am challenging the region's health leaders to describe by Christmas how we join teaching, research and delivery of health services in a single effort. A partnership that would see the region's leading clinicians, gifted academics and scientists join forces in a combined research and health services facility to deliver crucial research and health services to world-class standards. An advanced partnership that would strengthen our ability to attract the world's best players to the West Midlands. A partnership with the potential to deliver new advances in medical diagnosis, new treatments, new health services, and with spin-off jobs for a future generation of health workers in public and private sectors.